guiding you through and driving you through Fnatic versus North.
Soothing indeed. Fnatic with their new in-game leader Exist, who got removed from NIP after a very, very long tenure that spanned all the way back to the early days of CSGO when they were the dominant powerhouse, to an upgrade somehow of Fnatic, a team that sits higher in the standings. That said, they're going against North, a team that's been plummeting down them ever since, well, the last year.
Almost the exact same story for Draken as well. Got kicked from NIP and finds himself now booked in for a major and presumably with more money and everything going in with it. It's kind of nuts how that worked out for him, but there we go. He is now going to be the main AWPer, JW backing him up. Wasn't the most impressive in NIP. He was very inconsistent, I think what a lot of people were saying to him. He's definitely talented and has time to build upon what he's shown us so far. But for now, we're in towards the pistol. It's Trim to actually kick things off. AZ gets dropped as Draken looks to get the second frag here. It's Valda waiting towards the end of the balcony. Draken's not wasting any time here at all. I think that's maybe a little bit overzealous, but Flush is there to pick up the pieces. Valda's surely done for here. Nice work from Fnatic so far as the bomb and maybe the round will be going against North. It's just MSL waiting towards middle. Nice shot from him. 3 versus 1 now. They know exactly where he is. And that's to instantly kill JW to stand a chance, but takes a bullet to the face instead. Quick round map, but Fnatic starting off well.
Yeah, very quick round. Last best of one of the day, just to note.
Well, our last one, yes. 2. Oh, sorry, swimming.
Best of
overall,
one,
yes, indeed, yeah. There's still 2 best of 3s to come, a winner and a loser game, I think.
We're all winners and losers, Henry. In the game of life, some more on one side than the other.
Well, I've got hay fever in buckets today, so definitely not feeling like a winner right now. But I'm still here, still trying, you know. It's all I can do.
Effort. Nades go up the top middle. Valda gets hit by both of them, but at decent enough range that he only loses 25 HP despite not having armor.
Just to note, this was not the force buy from North. They're actually one of the few teams that actually really abiding by the philosophy of just getting upgraded pistols in the second round instead of force buying completely. See, they've already got an opening pick with those lesser weapons like Deagles and CZ. If you got to kill someone, it's normally quite a quick and efficient kill.
Yeah, what's the point of the armor? Yeah. I suppose you could argue that if you pick up a gun, the armor helps, but yes.
Sure. This means you're not so completely done for on the first gun round on the CD side. You're not going to have the problem of no AWP or a head in Valda's case as he gets taken down from the graveyard there. And now a 4 versus 4. JW spots on towards the bomb side, but can't quite react to find the flick on Bird's head.
So JW backs away as Draken now will clear out the mid wall, namely at quad. Holding inside of pit, AZ. He's already tagged down to 30. MSL's rotated around, and Kiabi's actually going to lock them inside of middle as he rotates all the way down Banana, but having lost MSL, and he going so far in that direction, B is actually open should they elect to rotate that direction instead. 4 versus 3. AKs in both Exist and JW's hands. It's going to be the MAC-10s that do most of the work. I say that Exist actually takes down Mercs, but AZ still waiting. It's found by JW, and we go now 2-0.
Well, they got the opening pick, but not much more, I'm afraid. JW 4-0. North now should be on the full eco, but considering they didn't spend too much money, maybe get PD50s, we'll see. And they usually stack towards B, and these sort of rounds, we'll see whether they do that here. Inferno, we'll see a lot of that today, these sort of best of ones in, I guess, the next couple of days. It's a map where everyone feels comfortable. We've got a lot of roster changes recently, so it's a map where people will feel more at home, I guess. It's a technical timeout. So we'll stop this round in its tracks.
Yeah, they've killed off everyone in the server, reset them back to their spawns. Not a religious man, but if I were, I would say that was divine intervention.
Yes, could be. We need a new sound card, apparently. That's escalated quickly. Brand new sound card.
A little bit.
Out of the box, please. Well, there we go.
Sound card. Interesting.
Maybe a USB one, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe they're using, I know the HyperX Cloud 2s ran specifically a USB sound card. I know lots of them do. I think the Alphas might as well.
Well,
I think Logitech does on one of their new ones. I'm not sure.
A lot of pro players prefer the USB sound card. You have consistent sound wherever you go. I used to prefer as well. I used to have a little Sennheiser little
I get what you mean. You're not reliant on the hardware.
So even if it's like lesser in some ways to a full-on sound card, at least you know you're getting the same sound every tournament you go to. So no mucking around trying to do all the sounds and equalizers and stuff like that. You get what are your you know you're gonna have a home, so that's always why they want to do that. So it's someone in North.
I always say this: sound is it's important in gaming, but it is conditioned in that you learn what certain sounds signify. It doesn't have to be realistic. You just have to be able to recognize what it is. What I mean by that is that people have argued a lot, you know, that the sounds aren't specific. Okay, fair enough. If they're not specific to wood, doesn't sound like wood or metal, as long as you're able to distinguish what it is and decipher that the difference is this to this. So in other words, it's learned. And therefore, if you change anything, you change those tones slightly, you have to relearn them. So you're kind of right with the sound card thing.
Yeah, there used to be some features as well. I remember there used to be some cheesy stuff you could do back in the day. You could like change the sound waves. So if it's sort of like a footstep was a quiet sound wave, right? It would actually amplify it over the gunshots, for example. So like I think it was like the Sound Blaster back in the day, like the Fatality one. You could do that. There's a setting you could have called FPS mode. It just made the footsteps super loud.
Yep. COD 4 used to have, I think in Pro League or Pro Mod, they eventually made it client side, but you used to have your catching your breath after sprinting. Or a long jump. And I remember Sennheisers, for some reason, were really, really good at picking that up.
Well, it looks like they've got the new sound card in place. We are getting ready to unpause now. MSL has confirmed they are ready. It's round number 3. As Matt said, our final best of 1 of the day, but we're not done just yet. We'll be burning the midnight oil with 2 best of 3s after this one. As we'll see who will be ready to play later on. For now, Fnatic, great start, 2-0, presumably get 3.
And I was going to say great start for them just to draw some lineage to the World Cup. Sweden just started against Switzerland as well.
Wow. Sweden should...
Sweden everywhere.
Yeah, they should be picking that one up, I'd imagine, but Switzerland have been a little bit dastardly, and we're off again. We're aborting. Looks like we've got the same issue. MSL said he was ready, but doesn't seem to be the case. They have aborted. That is fine as long as no damage has been exchanged. I think it has to be within 30 seconds or something like that. But sound cards still seems to be the main issue here right now.
All right, they do say that they're admin forced start. They do say that they're ready this time. So we'll see if that rings true as the freeze time once more will commence and expire with AKs picked up, 2 of them, JW and Crims. I say picked up. You all know what I mean. They were carried over. Held on to. Stack on the A side, 2 toward top middle, boost against the wall for MSL, hoping that if they smoke down, they'll be able to see above it. Have to be cautious of the nades, the boost. Can't find either. JW takes out the man below and falling down. MSL has no accuracy, so not only gets Mertz, he gets MSL, and they've spotted up a bit of the stack as well, meaning the bomb, although down toward T stairs, is very likely to go back toward B. That's if they go back to even get there. Because Kjarby and AZ finding kills have now picked up a gun to work with, and JW is not yet in position to grab that bomb. Volda, going back down the apartments, though, has given his position away. Little does he know.
This is kind of nuts. This is winnable now for North, but Valda might be taken down. Luckily, time's on his side. He does sneak past towards the T-steps, but JW's hot on his heels. So JW will be saying to his teammates, hold on, I have got a read on this, but every chance he gets, Valdes is going around the corners at the correct time.
I suppose that Flusha called the Penitums clear as well, because you would have thought that one player would have stayed behind to help him get these kills, but now look at the information JW has. You're right, it was winnable for a moment with the bomb down. JW only gets 1 so far, but he's still alive, still in it. And again, has the information. He'll close on Kjarby, and the round will slip away in the end. That got very awkward, considering they'd already had the B site. They'd already deciphered the stack. They just didn't have the bomb.
As JW with 4 kills, got a little bit scarier there, but he certainly saves the day. Remember, North did not fully purchase in the second round, meaning they're going to have their utility. They're going to have the AWP for Mertz. I was not aware. He's the young Danish player. I think he's 19, who was brought up from the academy team to join this roster. He has had some good tournaments. I'm trying to think about the most notorious one. It was recently. It was when they got to the semi-final, and I think he finished in the top 5 players of the event, which is pretty cool to see. Either way, he will be on the AWP for this particular round. We'll see whether he can do anything here. I think it was Starladder. But there's JW finishing, opening things up and finishing them off as well. AWP for Mertz, and no tactical timer here. Draken on the AWP for the first time as well. 2 young guns going at it. We'll see who comes out on top. Draken, known for his inconsistencies, but great amount of skill on his day. Pretty much same story for Mertz, really. I'd say maybe slightly more consistent, but can drop off at times as well. Flash to open things up. Kjarby does get a dink towards Exist. That's pretty much all he finds. MSL negates flames and tries to hold on towards B here. And will fall back successfully. Hold to the sandbag, so still not out of the woods just yet. He'll run around the corner, guaranteed kill there, but not a chance of a second. 4 versus 3 in favor of Fnatic.
Just will hold out behind the logs as well. JW wants to work out, spots Volda. Can't really get much vision, so he'll force that by putting a Molotov down, but Volda's already relocated into the corner, and JW doesn't fancy going against a man who's ready. He was hoping to catch him off instead, as Mertz does catch off Draken. Good shot of the AWP. So Fnatic with that 3-0 start now find them in a 3-3 deadlock on round 4, with A still firmly covered off, given that Volda's anchoring in the pit. But they've got 53 seconds to work with. No rotation yet from AZ, despite further utility deployed toward A as Mertz. He's eager with the AWP, perhaps too eager was Volda to capitalize on that information. Good shot through the edge of the barrel, goes back for more, had a chance for it, lost the shot, but somehow gets away with it on the second approach, which was even more rushed, even more forced, as Crims tries to bait out AZ. He's far removed, but he's just to library, and Crims overextends. Shot successful, North find their first round.
Wow. Mertz delivering a godlike performance there. It's the no-scope that actually saves the day. This shot was fantastic. Through the edge of the barrel there. Misses that one, but how does he pull this one off? Was a quick scope right at the end there, but...
it was so fast, though, that like you could hardly gain anything from the quick scope, to be fair.
Well, the thing is as well, sure, North win the round, but look at the disparity in terms of the cash. Fnatic pretty well equipped. They have the AWP, 2 rifles, couple of SMGs, but you can see how weak North are as well. They're going to have an MP7, 2 of those, an MP9, an AWP, and the M4. Not looking too healthy here. If Fnatic can pull this one up, they could run away with the first sector, at least this half. Going to see Flasher flashed up, and MSL tries to challenge it. They're being very aggressive towards B. I guess they have to at this point try and squeeze the kill out they can. They know they don't really have the utility or the firepower to hold off a full execution here. 3-1. There we go. Working through the default once again. JW at the end of the apartments. This time 2 players in the pit for North. MSL holds the arch. Draken not really had any impact with the AWP just yet. Got bested by Mertz before. Let's see if he can start finding some frags.
Exist holding at the wall. Keep an eye. Lots of new additions. I think we're entering a new, I don't want to say era, but new chapter in CSGO. With so many changes in rosters, G2 finally changing things up. Obviously, you've had the SK Cloud9 change with then Taco going to Liquids. You've had so many stand-ins or dead rosters at the previous events. I think this might be the first event, Cologne, in many ways, that we're going to see what's to come in the CS community and world. Having Astralis so far ahead at the moment. MSL finding 2. Crim's able to finally trade that off, and in doing so, they maintain the advantage only just and get the bomb down with 5 seconds left in the round. Just a note with the changes in the lineup, Exist is currently sitting on 4 kills. It's JW that leads the way.
He's full-time rifler as well now, you know? He's obviously always been a hybrid player, but now giving Draken more focus on the AWP, I think should be a positive, more structured approach, I guess, for Fnatic. They've always been one of those teams, like, last 3 years or so, just one of those lineups, like similar to what we were talking about in IP. Swedish teams always seem to do this. They don't really have the set AWP, especially when they had Dennis in there. They had everyone picking up the AWP from time to time. Olaf would pick it up, and it was always a little bit messy in that sense. I think this brings a little bit more structure, perhaps, so hopefully we'll see that work out for them. But for now, so far so good. Mertz looking to save the AWP. I think he certainly will.
Swedish hopping has certainly been a lacking attribute in that scene. If you think about it, Michael Lilly was a Swedish hopper. Dalpen to some degree. Alu was brought in from Finland. Draken's really the only designated hopper in that scene currently.
Twist, maybe?
Twist as well. Okay, fair enough. But he never really gave himself a shot at the top level, did he?
No, he seemed to sabotage his career somewhat with turning down certain opportunities and stuff like that. He was in, I think, Godsend's gone now, isn't he? They've shut down the organization. He was
they've
Godsend.
essentially sold it off to... not Red Reserve. Was it Red Reserve?
I'm pretty sure they had a tweet saying they closed their doors completely. I think it was...
But the roster did.
Oh, yes, yeah, possibly, yeah.
So, yeah, that said, yeah, that's considering the project that it was. Considering as well, they had a major spot at one point when they had that crazy roster change with Fnatic.
Yeah.
We thought Godsent was the team to be, and then now they're just gone. It's crazy how the business can bite you. That said, I want to point out Volda. It's only the second gun round for North at this point in time on round 6. Or we've only had 2 gun rounds, I guess is the point. He's the pit player, and he has 0 kills. That's a problem. Your pit player is so essential.
That's true. Valda still has time to recover, but Mertz 6 HP. He'll be playing very defensively with the AWP, I'd imagine. He's holding towards Library right now. There is a boost in CT spawn. That's MSL. Up he goes. Smoke down his position. Can slightly bode well, I guess. Give you some sort of a shroud as JW starts to walk in. He'll be hidden by the smoke. This could get very dramatic. As he gets one, doesn't spot the boost. And he'll get away a rifle. There we go.
I thought he was somehow going to get away. He's hugging the wall enough toward the ruins. I was like, are you serious? But MSL, you're right, gets the rifle picked up. He's still a little bit concerned that someone might be chasing him down with a flash. Tries to time his re-entrance to the site. Crim's able to dispose of him and dispatch with the AK-47 quite cleanly and get that M4 on the ground. They won't need it, but they'll leave it there happily. Mertz on the AWP.
They're going to be eco again next round. So saving the AWP has to happen. AZ can play for an exit kill if he can somehow steal away an AK. That'd be great. They're only getting $1,900 into the next round, and they've only got about 1,000 each at the moment. So for now, 5-1, maybe even going to 6. But with Mertz on the AWP, we haven't seen him go absolutely ham just yet. But these star AWPers, I wouldn't say he's quite a star yet, but he's up and coming. They can certainly carry around single-handedly if required. You'll see many AWPers do that. He was the rest of picks.
Well, I think he was desperate to get to the M4 that was down at Coffins, but never really had a chance, unfortunately.
A swing and a miss. 5-1, so they can't really do much, but hopefully play around this AWP. I would say put the AWP in the back of B. Hope they go for a clumsy rush, perhaps, and then you can pick some of them off. If they go A, to save the AWP again. PT50s on the other players here. So what's going to happen? Where does Mertz go? Actually sending 4 players towards A, including him. So let's see how this one pans out. Mertz will presumably go for the first pick and see what's available to them. Currently looking towards bedroom/boiler right now, but Molotov's all over the place. He'll have to fall back.
Smoke down from Mertz, and he certainly will fall back. So 4 players on A. The AWP already relocating, trying to catch them off in any possible position that he can. That position seemingly toward the arch. Information gathered by, therefore, Kiarbi before such time that he goes for the peak. He'll now confirm that mid-wall's clear. So he'll post toward the cubby. Smoke will isolate. That's well and truly inside of the boiler doorway, though, meaning forward toward the quad, meaning he could still see the entrances, but the Molotov will push him off of it.
Easy. Can feel the bullets flying around him. This pick from Mertz, though. Challenges exist and comes out on top. They can't recover the rifle still. That's a bit of a problem. 4-on-4, certainly favouring Fnatic at this point as JW tries to sneak out the apartments here. He knows that they're all properly watching his position. And where's Mertz gone? He's actually booked it towards the B side after showing presence towards middle. Trying to stay dynamic. Valda, Molotov dealt and dealt with accordingly by JW. Just poor Daisy now, who's on the site. That's a free-fire spot, as you saw there. He does get a dink off, but that's still going to be the round. Bomb we planted, like we said. Mertz just has to save that AWP. Not really much else to do. 6-1 on the T side of Inferno. Really quite a grim prospect on a best of 1, especially on this particular map when you're on the CT side. MSL does get an AK. If he can save, that'd be great, but JW is coming for him, but he won't be looking in that direction. Gets another $300 and gets the hell out of there. So well played by MSL. That's going to help out in terms of balancing the books in towards the next one. Fnatic don't really have to hunt this too much. Just make sure Draken saves his AWP. He's just holding on the site right now, making sure that no one gets close to that bomb. That's confirmed. They are going to win the round. And MSL holding towards the underpass. Mertz in towards ruins. MSL gets another, making this expensive.
Yeah, costly indeed, but still going to be Fnatic getting their 6th to only the one that North have achieved thus far. So with that, Mertz will have the AWP still to work with. He'll drop out an M4. That goes to Volda. 2 kits. Plenty of money for AZ. I say plenty of money, but Not so much in that to bring out utility along with an M4, so what's the call going to be? Money enough to buy. So I'll hop an AK down and spawn. Draken will take the AWP. Try and see if he can find a pick. Doesn't have the greatest spawn for it. Are they going to shoot that actually to JW? Wow, they were trying to. Didn't really work. I was going to say, he's got the spawn for it. You might as well give him a go, but didn't really work out, did it? No.
So, presumably give it back to Draken.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'd think he would just give up on that now and give it to the man who should have it, but he's not, like you say, no stranger to the weapon. It's probably to his benefit as well to have a primary opper in the team. Mertz had seen one, he spots two, manages to get the shot off. Despite the flames down, despite the very narrow angle, and he'll collect Crims. It's JW that still holds with the AWP. He's going to keep it for the entirety of the round, it seems, as he gets toward the apartment's flash out. Just barely spotted Mertz, but couldn't land the shot through the edge of the balcony. He still posts and could cover toward library, but he seems to be more eager to clear out pit.
MSL alone on B. 5 players up for North, thanks to the pick from Mertz towards that boiler. And Fnatic start to fall back. This could be a classic execution towards the B site. MSL resides in CT spawn right now. CTs will have a rotation available in the form of Kiabi. But can they get there in time? If MSL goes down with nothing and caught with a nade out, that could be a problem. He does drop it off. Smoke down. That will call for Kiabi to come over right about now. And at this point, some damage done. Oh, goodness, MSL. One bullet will take him down. Luckily still alive. Does manage to get a bit off and return towards flush up. I think that was Kiabi. And for now, still 25 seconds. Draken and JW waiting in the top of middle for the smoke to go down.
Volda, by the way, still 0 kills. 1 assist and 7 deaths. It's down to JW. He's looking for more. AZ's there, but couldn't get the angle onto him. Clever little gap by the cart that he tries to spot through. That opens up a bit more to the corner, but AZ has since relocated it with a gap of the smoke of his own. He'll fire out to find JW. That brings Volda in. And welcome to the scoreboard for Volda. An important one, no less, as he takes down Draken in the site. And a second round for North.
There we go. First kill for him. But you're right, very important one. Time was running down so low there for Fnatic, and North did a decent job. Just showing enough presence towards B. That one smoke was absolutely everything. Like I said, if MSL went down with nothing there, that was the round. But he got the smoke off, survived, pushed him in towards the A site. There were some lovely shots, or a shot from JW with the AWP. Pre-fired the barrel towards the quad. If he took down AZ in the pit as well, he knew where he was. That potentially was enough, but not meant to be. And now the money's starting to swing. As Fnatic will be bringing 4 rifles here, no AWPs, and Crims just on the CZ. This gives Mertz a bit more freedom now. He knows the money's not going to be as strong. If they can win this round North, that is, they'll have a chance to bounce back into this and potentially win the half still. MSL, aggressive towards B, takes down Flusher just as the smoke goes up. 5 versus 4, and how do Fnatic recover?
Desperate spray down the hallway from JW. I shouldn't say desperate, just optimistic. Hoping to collect something with it. Draken works out from Boiler. He'll have JW already on the mid wall and exists in tow. Deep smoke front library. Rotations are actually favoring to the B side, given that utility was thrown from so far away, and I think they've identified that based on how that smoke landed at library, the angle in which it arrived. They suspect that it's possible they're trying to throw utility for means of fake, but they are actually still going toward A, as we can tell. Meaning there's 2 inside of the site and a rotation required for Mertz to get back in position. Thankfully, they've got the advantage. They somehow didn't spot Volda in the open, as they were all flashed, partially blind and determined by smoke, but it's Crims that pulls it back. Mertz and AZ to go down, and Crims still holding from the cart, has the bomb planted, and he can cover off top middle as well.
Crims is looking phenomenal in this particular round. 3 versus 1 now. Kiabi can't do anything about it, as exists. It's one of the final nails in the coffin of round number 9. And there it is, 7-2. Kiabi can do nothing but sit back and wait for the round to end. Hoping he can take the AK into the next round, but money still not going to be great. They can't find consecutive rounds here. As Fnatic recover in emphatic style there. Crims, that was so good from him. Hits a really, really clinical shot on towards the A site. Turned around, and with the tiniest of gaps available to him, AZ waiting in the pit, had 2 players lined up, got completely destroyed. And there we have it. Bomb explodes, and Kiabi will survive. He did wait towards the library for any sort of exit frags, got nothing for it. So 6k on Valda. The rest of them, though, all hovering around 3k of a saved AK-47. There is a buy there. It wouldn't be the best, but still possible. Interesting to see which way they'll go with it. Doesn't look like they'll be investing heavily, though.
So 7-2. We don't quite get our 7-1 this time. But 4 games in a row, we've been pretty one-sided off of the starting gate. Or off the blocks, I should say. 7-2, and North with only the 1 AK-47, meaning that they likely will succumb to the fate of this round as well. I say that, and Volda finds a kill. They managed to get KRB in position. He times it to perfection, and suddenly it's a 5 versus 2, but Crims has gotten Volda back.
My goodness.
Never a time to have impact for Volda. Only his second and third kill in the round, in the game, excuse me.
Well, a real chance here for North, but not out of the woods just yet. Still need to find 2 more kills. Crims and Draken looking to sabotage their attempts. Still with a minute though. Crims presumably will do most of the heavy lifting here, considering Draken has the orb. I'll try and find some space, get a kill, and then see what's available to them at that point.
So AK's picked up. Crims needs to work the magic to try and open up the side. Draken slowly working toward top of Banana. He's got the bomb in hand. They're split. So 2 is the defense. 2-1 split in the D. There is 4 players, keep in mind. It's actually Kiarbi that's waiting to swing in response, holding towards CT spawn. Crims will make some noise, try and bait out some footsteps. Mertz falls down and behind the box, different angle to hold, and he's got a crossfire set from the pit. It's AZ that's behind, and he'll get the shot. 17 seconds. Draken does have bomb.
Might as well save now. There's no way he's just able to run in towards B unless MSL gives it up for free.
Doesn't think it's open.
Yeah, that was his chance to run in and plant. But yes, you're right. It's not worth it. He probably doesn't win the round anyway. So to save the orb. So MSL almost gave it the side there. But there we go. It will be North sitting the round away. Thank you to Kiabi, AK spray at the start. Valda joining in as well with the fun. There we go. You can see how effective that flashbang is. Not too much hard work. At that point, we got 2 completely blind players doing the Neymar in front of you. And we'll get into round number 11 here.
The Neymar.
You see that?
What, rolling around?
No, he did a flashbang celebration at the World Cup.
I did see something on Reddit.
Yeah. He plays CSGO. That's what
yeah, big time. I know. He's friends with FNX and various other Brazilian players. Flashbang down, smoke out. Gap in it as well if KRB is careful and clever enough to get position. Dragon back in. Hopefully. To find one, but MSL's going to hold right. KRB to hold left. I would say that Banana's pretty locked down, Henry.
It seems like it with the half-wall boost as well.
It's interesting. Normally you get 1 player down there and you're like, that's anchored, we'll rotate. This time they're like, no, let's double down. Actually, we're going to triple down. We're going to put a boost in there as well. Just leave Banana completely locked.
Yeah, this is about to horn them. If Valda rotates towards the side, JW's got such a strong angle on him. Let's see if he does decide, especially if he walks back around trying to be quiet.
Flank rotation. MSL went out early. Flusher was ready for it. I was going to say, if JW got the kill on Volda, they would go for a flank, but they were certainly ready for it. Good play. Draken ready for AZ to try and push it now as well. And they're giving it all up. KRB's patience pays off, but it's down to just he is, despite having everything locked off, they just walked out with no information.
You really don't need 3 players at the bottom of B. That's not wise, in my opinion. Once you've got Banana control like that, you've got Mertz with the AWP, just get him at the barrel or the half-wall to hold it by himself. That's enough. You just need to find 1 kill, hold them off, then you get the rotations in. 3 at the bottom of B really is quite useless, I would say. Especially when you're going to be pushing down like you were. You realize you've got no information. You're so far removed from the A site. You have to push, and there's waiting for you. They didn't catch that first kill, but as soon as there was a bit of traction towards the apartments, they had to push B. And it all just went a bit wrong there. It was a nice idea initially just to get that manpower, get the first kill, but then when they left 3 players there for so long, for me, that's when the round went horribly wrong for them. Either way, looks like an eco for North to take a tactical timeout here. They've got 2 remaining, and they've already used 2. And a chance for the Fnatic cash to stabilize, as if they really needed it. They've all got about $3,000 right now. They're looking to get another $3,500 per player into the next round, and presumably this will be quite an easy one, as North can't really justify much more than PT50s. Kiabi has got 7k, could drop some upgraded pistols, I guess. We'll see if he does that. Keep an eye on the right-hand side of your screen. Kiabi's name, he buys an AWP. Okay. Now that is a purchase. They're forcing this map. Okay then. Now that's a play. I respect it. AWP, 2 MP9s, 2 CZs. Mertz has got so much pressure on his shoulders right now to deliver something quite special. They would have had money in the next round to buy, but they've opted for this instead. Kiabi dropping the AWP Mertz, and that's gone. So you can see there's an AWP there as well. They want to try and recover that quickly. JW will grab that.
Throw it back, presumably. He's got him first win the duel.
There we go. Grabs it, gets out of there.
Fair enough. Gets the AK back as well. Sorry, lads. Not for sale. And if they even dare think about it, the nade was lobbed in on top of it as well, which they could have also retrieved it with the nade, but instead it was, yeah, go for it. I dare you. Take the damage. That goes along with it as AZ now falls to 38. Fnatic looking pretty solid, I have to say.
Yeah, so far. And this is the first event they've had with Draken, of course. That's actually quite a significant change. That's someone who comes in as the primary AWP for the first time in a while in Fnatic. JW continues to add to his impressive total, 15 kills and 5 deaths. Both of the remaining A players here, quite low on HP. Valda waits in the pit. Easy on the side, so JW just waits to finish things off here. Like we said, this should have been a gimme round, but I was saying that against a full eco. They actually went all in with the AWP, SMGs, CZs, and now with the loss bonus. Oh dear, it's his second stage. So they'll get $1,900 per player. But that's another full eco coming in, and then 9-3 down on the CT side of Inferno. Nice work from Draken, though. Seems like he's finding his feet quite nicely in Fnatic. He got 6 kills, but that was quite a nice shot, given that.
Yeah, 6 kills for him. Flush and Draken and Crim's all similar. It's JW and Exist that lead the way. Solid for Exist. Bomb intentionally left behind. That'll be dropped at T stairs. Look at this little nifty stack.
Okay, on the pallet.
It looks like a 3-man, but it's not, which is
Yes.
why the third player's not moving. It's pallet that the second guy's on.
That could be a little bit dastardly, we'll see.
Especially if they overcommit to checking Cubby. JW walks around too fast. You've got Valda to peek out as well as AZ. This is essentially a 5-man stack. 3 literally stacked on top of each other. He's going to realize it. Oh, hang on. Holds the angle, though. That's quite smart because now they have to move. They have to bait around the corner, and that means Draken gets one further, and they're also rotating in behind. They know all 5 are there. They've got B covered off. Bomb will go that direction to ensure the round, but watch out because inside of T-spawn, it's Flusha. This still isn't clean. It's just Valda remaining, thankfully, but he's got an AK, and Flusha, as I mentioned, was there. 10-3 for Fnatic.
Double digits on the T side. 2 to go in the first. Oof. So, spending every dollar they've possibly got in reserve. North will have 5 M4s, 1 kit, no incendiaries, and only 1 HE. HE is actually a massive deal on the CT side of Inferno, not so much the T side, but equally can be useful as well if you want to be maybe focusing Molotov strikes and following up with HEs to finish people off, etc., or the other way around, whatever way you want to do it. And we'll get into round number 14 here. Pressure firmly on the north side of the server. Draken using the AWP again to try and open things up. There's AZ and Valda on the site. No one in the apartments at all. As he gets the angle, his teammates working around towards the arch, so he'll be smoked out. Buys him some time, though. That's fine for both sides because it's early on in the round, not a huge deal. Merch presumably traded out here. Indeed, he is 4-on-4. AZ and Valda nervously way on the side. They haven't really got anything to hold them off here.
Valda waiting and holding. good play from the corner. Assist to AZ as he takes down JW. Crims is locked in toward Modo, and Vault is going to be somewhat careful to not to overextend and try and pinch him in, because if he does, he's got Exist working out from behind at the apartments, which will end up being his demise. He found MSL as well. Perfectly played, but Cammy has the bomb. That's crucial at this point in the round. 50 seconds, it's not like he can rest on his laurels. In fact, he's going to give it up. He's going to try and one-up them, knowing that Draken's still toward the pit. And rotating back to quad, Exist is so preoccupied trying to get the bomb back, he may actually be able to isolate this into one-on-ones if he's careful enough. Oh, did Draken spot the gun barrel? I think from his perspective he might have, but I say that obviously not, because Exist would have had the information and turned around. That was quick from Draken.
That was pretty much the only way he could win that round. I think if the CT got away at that point, he was done for. Kiabi readied well, got the first kill, tried to get out of there, but Draken, very fast in the response, manages to win the round 11-3. Final round of the first half here for Masses, MP7s, Deagles, and Kiabi with the only M4. Looking quite grim here, 12-3 certainly on the cards, but they have managed to win an eco before. 3 rounds in total, though, not one of them consecutive. And that's been the problem for them. The money has just spiraled out of control. Nades will go in for MSL. None of them connecting, though. Flash up gets in front of them and might even deliver a couple of them back. MSL taking a lot of damage there, but still going to go aggressive, the MP7. It's now cheaper than it was before. We're seeing more and more of it in games, and somehow gets away with a pick and maintains a man advantage.
Boost up for the MP7 in the hands of MSL. 12-3 looking like a score we might end up with for the second time today at a half juncture. However, I say that and it could easily still end up 11-4, given that the man advantage resides with North, and doubly so as Valda takes out Crims. Good position on the windowsill. He's just spotted Mertz, but all Mertz was playing for was the information in that situation. There's no need to overextend. He's smartly backed off with the 2-man advantage. He'll get isolated because Crims now has also spotted AZ and doesn't want to be countered with a bait and switch. It works out very well, and JW catching off Volda. We're back to 3s. Weapons favoring Fnatic, given that they've got the AWP and 2 AKs. AK in the hands of Exist being the most menacing of which, because it's the closest to action. However, if he doesn't get the kill, I was going to say the bomb will be limited coming out of apartments. It still is, but Exist trades off on Kiarbi, and it's just MSL rotating back around a divided offense. Bomb will be planted. The timing of this actually could favor Draken. All he has to do is look up toward the top of middle, and if MSL swings by with the MP7, he'll be caught. I think he's aware that Draken, because there was some noise over B, is going to be coming from that direction. Doesn't matter. 12-3 indeed. Draken with a good kill. Looking proficient on the weapon.
Yeah, once he got the AWP out, he looked a little bit more comfortable. So there we go, 12-3. It'd be difficult to lose at this point, considering they got 12 rounds on the T side, but they are a new squad. Things could go wrong. It's the North that are known as a tactical, execution-based squad, and we'll see what happens here. I would say there's still a few more twists and turns to go yet. We've had a few whitewashes today, but hopefully this one gets a little bit more competitive overall. The second half will begin very shortly, it seems. Here's the stats for you. North at the very top will have MSL. That is not good news whatsoever, Matt. That is actually quite worrying for them. The Vald is right at the bottom. You need those big names against a team like Fnatic to go toe-to-toe. Here's your odds from Betway. As you would imagine, Fnatic way out in front. Win this pistol. Again, it's pretty much over, I'm afraid, especially with North on the T side now.
Easy. Starting his way down the stairs from Boiler, as Mertz is already inside of the stairs from the apartments behind. They'll back out the ladder mentioned area. To 3. Very slow start to this pistol comparative to the first half, in which Fnatic were able to pick that up with, I think, 3 players surviving. Russia's going to smoke off B site a little bit late, meaning that they'll buy a lot of time. They would almost buy down to the 30-second mark. If they weren't going to commit and go through, the flash will completely blind flush, and they certainly will go, because they find him easily standing still, clueless in the open. JW's forced off towards CT as well, and we've got a call that's rather interesting, and I think it's going to be agreed upon because it's mutual. Despite that there's been kills coming in, both teams called not live because each of them had a crash.
Yeah, I saw JW kind of struggling to get past walls and run into corners, and
was caught in the open completely.
Yeah, and I think they were having those issues before that first kill came in, so both of them agreed. Someone's crashed. We'll calm down.
I think, just to the point as well, I think both teams had a player crash because someone said not live and they said same, player crashed, me too. Or us too. Whatever it was.
So it looks like both teams are ready though. So we're right back into it. We'll start everything again. It's still going to be 12-3, 5-5, even though that one kill came through. And we'll have 3 sets of armor for now. I'm sure Valda might get one more. No, he goes to the PT-50 instead. And 2 smokes. 2 smokes suggest they want to go towards B. Obviously using one towards coffins and then CT spawn. They'll flash over at the very start. MSL going to be throwing that. And they might not be heading there in the end, as Draken did spot 2 players towards the bottom and middle. They're falling back now towards the apartments. Bombs down now in second middle. Kalbi will challenge first, but not find the opening kill this time. So 5-on-5 for now. 2 players towards the banana area. 3 of them in the apartments going for a default. Still with their 2 smokes.
Just careful to walk back far enough so as not to be heard, and then gets on a gallop to rotate back over toward Banana. That's where Kiabi's already opened up the frag and getting JW, so he is the first to go down again. This time, he was consciously aware of it. Not that he was unconscious last time, but figuratively speaking, he was lagging out. We'll call that a lack of consciousness. Flusha waits from coffins. He'll try and get above the smoke. Can't quite do it. They'll rotate back around. No boost yet. They could have gone for it. It looked like Draken might have considered it. But the bomb planted and Banana held. In fact, 2 players back toward Banana, so they'll confirm there's going to be no rotation, no flank. And then they'll be able to turn their attention back toward the bomb. Fnatic a man down, but 12-3. They're well up.
Yeah, this is looking really difficult for them. They've got 5 kills to find. The bomb getting to the halfway point. They have got a kit, but only 4 of them up right now. Valda, he will be challenging first by the looks of things. The bomb getting to a considerable point now. Fnatic really do need to start striking here. Flusha makes the first incision, but I don't think they'll get much more. Crims and indeed Flusha left in the 2 versus 3. They'll have to fall back. They just waited a little bit too long there to really pull the trigger in more ways than one. Flusha will go down with the ship. He knows it, and North win a much-needed pistol round there. So there we go.
Much needed indeed, 12-4. So both T sides have won the pistols. They'll go on to MP7s, 2 of them Caribbean AZ. 3 of them MSL, and Mertz goes for a MAC-10 to change it up a little bit, so 2 Valda on the AK. Valda found his contribution late, gone up to 7 kills in total. Crims with the scout, trying to get chance shot down middle, but no one's going to give him that chance at all. In fact, no one peeking in that position. They had already gone well by and into Banana. So JW holds towards CT, and above on Orange's one, standing above is Flusha.
CZs and scouts on Inferno can be very tricky to negate. Flusha and JW hold towards B. Crims with the scouts, interesting enough. Now we're holding quad. North need this round. They really do. Fnatic did not have to force buy here either. They could have taken the full eco and had all the money to close this one out. Opting for an early finish though. Crims, it would do well to hit that shot. He connects it. Obviously can't find a kill at that tiny angle. That'd be very impressive. But AZ now jumping on the pallets as Draken falls back. They've got themselves at a tight choke point here. They still fall apart for North, but nice opening pick there. And scrappy, but it's North coming out on top for now. But JW looking to shut it all down. Finds the bomb, but not much else.
Fortunate for him that the bomb actually got flung around the corner and therefore was safe to grab and plant inside of the site. If it stayed open toward the quad, he may have had more in it with the CZ. This tournament, unlike Belo Horizonte, we are playing on the new patch. Teams have had time to acclimate to it. Shot back toward JW. He falls off the position, still has armor to work with. And I think the armor will be enough to carry over or enough to encourage them to do so. No kits and a man down on the retake. We're going to go 12-5.
Certainly are. Good attempt there by Fnatic, but not quite close enough. Good job by AZ with the MP7, finds 2 kills there. 3 players from North will survive in total. It's up to JW and Flusha to block their exits here and hopefully find an upgraded weapon or two, but you can see them just hugging the pit there, making sure they survive this round, and all three do, of course. It's a bit of a weird one. Any other map, that would be way too close, but Inferno, for some reason, you can sit right next to the bomb and be absolutely fine.
It's because it's already hot.
Yeah.
It's the Inferno.
12-5. They say the CZ's the armor, but should be another round for North here, looking for the 3-0 as they start their campaign really on Inferno in the second half. MP7s, Mac 10, a couple of AKs should be enough. JW and Flusher, though, can be quite menacing with those CZs. This could be a 5-man stack towards A from Fnatic, and a B rush from North. Couldn't really go any more wrong for them now. And the Fnatic squad, that's going to be round pretty much already.
Molotov actually didn't make it. They'll identify that, having run around the corner, and they'll adjust it accordingly.